What is going on, guys? This is LaserBolt, and welcome to my first impressions of what I felt like to play the First Descendant for the first time. Today, I'm going to let you guys know what I felt like, what games I kind of compare this to, and how did it feel overall in general. So with that being said, let's dive in and talk about it. So when I first started playing the game, guys, the first thing that I kind of really noticed that I kind of caught me a little bit off guard is I was playing on PC, and it really felt like this game was meant to be played on a mouse and keyboard, because on controller, it felt super sensitive when it came to actually trying to, pinpoint and shoot the enemies. I kind of felt like I had to be adjusting the controller settings quite often. Now, for those of you who might be playing this on PC, you might not feel that, because a buddy of mine that was actually playing on a mouse controller, he said it felt pretty smooth. For me personally, that I love controller, it kind of felt like very, very tough and very rough when it came to controllers. Now, I feel like this might get optimized a little bit down the road, because I also asked another buddy of mine that was also on controller. He said that the sensitivity was really crazy, and that kind of led me into not aiming at all, just hip firing. And guys, hip firing feels so good in this game. I think it is definitely, you don't even need to aim. I think maybe when you get to those high-end bosses or those high-end difficulties, the aiming might be more necessary so you can land those crit shots. But at the beginning, in the early stages of the game, I didn't feel like aiming was such a big thing. I think hip firing just did wonders. Now, the one thing I was really looking forward to, kind of getting a feel for it, was the whole grapple hook thing, and how well that was going to be. Was I able to grapple and jump? Was I going to be able to grapple and swing? Was I able to grapple onto an enemy or pull an enemy towards me with the grapple? So that was one of the most intriguing things that I kind of was really leaning forward to, trying to find out how exactly it worked in the game. And I got to tell you, it actually felt pretty good. It didn't feel super clunky. It didn't feel like gimmicky. It felt that it was actually needed throughout the game in order to not only traverse the game, but also get different sets of elevation when it came to fighting the enemies, and the exploration factor and how they place different items in different areas for you to be able to use this mechanic often. It does give you a sense of vibe that it's not just there to make the game fun. It's an actual usable item that you need to have within the game. Now, the only thing I kind of noticed when I was playing it is when I would grapple hook is when you get that kind of, grapple hook to the edge, I would do a jump, and it kind of felt like I was just floating in the air. And it kind of, after playing for a while, just felt like I needed a grapple hook and just let the animation play out for it to kind of have that nice sink-in animation. So I don't know if that's something that's intended, or it's something that I kind of have to get used to when playing the game when it came to the grapple hook. And I know a lot of you guys might have that question, because that is one of the biggest difference when it comes to this particular game and other games. There is that grappling hook system. Now let's talk a little bit about the gun mechanics and how those actually felt. I think overall in general, it did feel pretty beefy when I was shooting the gun. I did feel the difference of me going from like an SMG to a pistol to a sniper rifle. So I did like the fact that the combat did feel very fluid. I like the fact that it actually matches when it comes to using your abilities. And I love the fact that the abilities are not tied to a very, very long cooldown. You're actually able to spam some of the abilities depending on what character you're playing with. Some are a little bit more spammable than other ones. Some are more like, you kind of have to plan them out and see how you're going to strategize with different characters, because they're pretty powerful, so you can't really spam them that much. But some of the characters that I actually got a chance to play with, the spammable ones, felt like I was kind of smooth sailing throughout the game. It didn't feel like I'm waiting for this ability to spawn so I could kill this enemy. It felt like, okay, I could time my abilities and kind of synergize them very well. So I have abilities to use all throughout the level that I'm playing with. So it actually felt pretty good. Another thing that I really enjoyed about the game, it felt like it was rewarding in the sense that I was getting loot throughout the game. Now, the thing is, I don't want to jump over the gun and say, guys, the loot is perfect or the drop rate is great, because I didn't know how meaningful these drops were, because when I was playing the game, I was getting a lot of drops, but I wasn't really paying attention to the drops per se. I was just paying attention to how much drops they were dropping. It didn't get to the point where I was like getting a drop and switching items or switching weapons or switching mods, because at the beginning I really didn't know too much about the game. But it did feel like where I was getting a lot of drops, right? So it felt like, okay, well, I'm killing this enemy. I'm getting multiple weapons. So it gave me a lot of reasons to come say, okay, well, I'm going to try to see how it feels like to use a pistol. I'm going to try to see how it feels to use an SMG, how it feels to use an AR. So that felt actually pretty good. Now, the sense that I got when playing the game, I got a lot of things coming to my head. The first thing that I got was, this feels a lot like Destiny 1. And that's actually a really good thing, because if you ask anybody, and I did ask this question prior in one of my polls, is would you rather play Destiny 1 or would you rather play Destiny 2? the majority, a big majority, 70% said Destiny 1. And this is actually pretty good because this game did make me feel like I was playing Destiny 1. And that is a good thing because, I mean, Destiny 1 was definitely, it has been one of the best games. Don't get me wrong, Destiny 2 is actually pretty great, but Destiny 1 is that game that you're like, man, this is a very, very solid game. Now, in addition to that, I did feel a little bit of Warframe vibes in here. Not that much where I felt like I was playing Warframe. It mostly felt like I was playing a mix of Warframe, a mix of Destiny, all tied in together. Now, with some of the abilities of the characters, I did get a little bit of sense of vibe of Outriders, just mostly in the sense of the abilities. But overall, in general, this mostly felt like Warframe meets Destiny 1, meets Outriders, meets a little bit of Anthem. I don't take that in the wrong way, in the sense of the way the missions are scattered around the map. But overall, in general, it did feel really solid. It felt really good. I think the best comparison I could say, it did feel like Destiny 1. Now, when you get to the main central hub, it does feel like you're in the Destiny Tower once again. So the best comparison, I think the best comparison and a really good comparison I gave this, if you like Destiny 1, this might be up your alley. Now let's talk a little bit more about the kind of like the loop about the game, right? So one of the things I felt is, okay, I was going through missions. I was going to these beacons, activating the beacons. These beacons would take me into a mission. I would have to go kill some NPCs. These NPCs would definitely go ahead, drop some loot. Then I would go to another beacon and kind of progress to the story around the map. And then it was like going from these beacon to another beacon. Some were like defend the area. Some were just clear the enemies. The other ones were like, okay, maybe go get, get these items that are found or scattered around the area and bring them back. Hold down this position. So there is a ton of similarities when it comes to different games that you guys are definitely going to feel like, okay, this is very similar to Destiny, very similar to Warframe, where I'm doing the same thing over and over to get loot. But at the end of that, you have this thing where you have raids, aka in this game, which theoretically to me feel more like dungeons. I don't know if it's because we were playing low-level raids or it's just that that's the way it feels like. And these particular raids are very challenging in the sense that if you don't come prepared to complete the raid, you're going to wipe and you're going to pretty much, not complete the raid. So you definitely want to come prepared when you decide to, engage in this particular raids. Now, apart from that, towards the end game, you have the ability of being able to do stuff like voids and mastery ranks. Now, I had a separate video going over the end game, so you guys are definitely going to want to check that out. But overall, in general, these were my first impressions when I got a chance to play the game. Now, I'm really looking forward to hearing your guys' feedback after you guys play the beta. And you could probably come back to this video and let me know, Laser. I kind of felt the same way. This does feel like Destiny 1. Or, no, Laser, this doesn't feel like Destiny 1. You're crazy. I do want to know your guys' feedback, so make sure after you guys play the game, play the beta, please come back to this video and let me know your first impressions. What did it feel like playing the game? And if you guys kind of, agree with me or disagree with me in the comment section down below. Now, I'm going to have you guys completely covered on everything you need to know about the First Descendants. I hope to be that channel where you guys feel like if I want to know something about the First Descendant, I'm going to go to this channel and find out. So hopefully I'm able to provide everything you need to know about the First Descendant and be that channel where you guys find everything you guys want to know. Speaking about that, you guys are definitely going to want to check out this video that's popping up right now on the screen where I go a little bit more in depth on more stuff about the First Descendant. You guys are definitely not going to want to miss that out. Now, guys, if you guys want to show additional love and support and love what we're doing here in the channel, do consider becoming part of the Bolt Nation by clicking the join button down below. Not only does it help us out, but I do feel as an incentive, we will be helping you guys when it comes to endgame regarding this game. So if you guys feel like you're going to be playing this game a lot and you're going to need some help in the endgame or just want people to play with, definitely consider becoming part of the Bolt Nation. Also, head on over to our Discord server. We want to get as many of you guys over there so you guys can find like-minded individuals like yourself and a very cool atmosphere. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video.